Welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a quick review and tutorial on Scite AI, which is a great new tool for getting through medical literature that uses AI. Um, my background is I'm a medical researcher. I've published multiple papers. Um, I'm a clinician. Part of the really difficult part of publishing is learning about a new field, learning about a new topic, even if it's a topic that's adjacent to yours. If you just don't have experience with literature, it can take 5 to 10 hours to really even get your bearings. We'll explore Scite AI and show how that can significantly save a lot of time. And we'll give a brief tutorial. So here I'm logging into my Scite AI account. The pricing is actually quite reasonable for what you're getting. Obviously, it depends on your workflow and your use case and how much value you're going to get out of this. But and financial disclosure, I get paid absolutely nothing for this. This is just a tool that I'm using for the past month, and I'm really impressed by it. The yearly plan is $12 a month. You pay annually, you pay $144, or you could do the monthly plan. You can cancel anytime. It's $20 a month. That might actually make more sense for someone if you're working on a paper now or have a research topic that you need to explore. There are a bunch of different features here. As you can see, I've used this pretty extensively for a bunch of different fields. I find that it's very good with medicine. That's been my experience so far. And there's a few different products that you can have here. There's a good search function. There's a good way to explore literature in a visual way that turns everything into a kind of like a nexus. You could see which papers cite which papers. Um, but what we're going to look at right now, and I think the best use case that you can really have is something, with this AI assistant. We're going to do something that's come up in the news a lot. Everyone seems to be really interested about magnesium supplementation, and we're going to explore the evidence for the need for an otherwise healthy adult to take magnesium. So, tapping something really, really simple. Typing in something really simple. What is the rate of magnesium deficiency? What this does is, and how this works is it uses the ChatGPT API, and based on the question that you use, it will actually prompt itself to ask a bunch of different questions, and then using internet actually give you up to date citations. I was actually really impressed with how recent a lot of these publications are. Especially if you're using ChatGPT, you can only really see things, past a certain date. But this was fairly up to date, and I've used this with a bunch of different subjects. And I really like the user experience here. The user experience is incredibly friendly. You can look at the hyperlinks for each paper, and they will pull out exactly the part of the paper that they're trying to quote. They have a reference list here that you can literally copy and paste all the references that are used over here. And it gives you this really quality annotated sort of narrative through the literature. I found that it can sometimes be a little bit too careful and cautious when stating claims about the literature. It will always try to hedge, and that's fine. I'm not advocating for people copy pasting things from an AI straight to paper or, claiming that this is their work. But if you're trying to, wrestle with a topic, I think this is a really good start. The other thing it's really good at, if you have a claim, let's say you remembered a figure, you remembered something, and you just want to kind of pull up some papers on that subject. I remember thinking about magnesium. That magnesium is good for migraines, and so I can just query that. Is there evidence? I notice that is there evidence that magnesium is good for migraines? Notice I'm really using very human language. I'm really just talking to this AI. It generates it pretty quickly. Um, it'll run this and it'll give its own quality assurance. It splits up my basic question to 11 different questions and then searches everything, consults a bunch of different publications, and then gives me this sort of annotated bibliography right on the side for all the questions that it really has. Um, all, with snippets from the exact part of the paper that it's quoting. I really think that, this would have taken me hours, right? You need to read the whole paper, you need to identify, highlight. This takes a lot of that work out of the way. Obviously, for topics that are more better research, this really can offer a lot. It will also tell you if it doesn't have good evidence, which I think are good. So, what are the benefits? The benefits here are if you're coming into a new subject or you're trying to find support for an idea that you already know, but you just need some papers to support it or figure out the state of research in a certain area. Scite AI really does represent a really easy way to quickly do a basic literature review of a subject in a very focused way. You can query about epidemiology, about the basic science. You could ask for mechanisms, and the write-up really is pretty quality. Instead of doing a lot of work yourself, finding papers, and then trying to make an annotated bibliography yourself, this really does most of the work for you. The limitations are it doesn't do quantitative analysis. So let's say there's a paper with a bunch of different, it can't yet extract data from papers, analyze it themselves. I'm thinking something like a meta-analysis where you're trying to compare treatment groups between different sort of things based on data you can extract from papers. It doesn't do that. This is very much just text-based, very much just, and it doesn't have a data analysis feature yet. That's one limitation. Another limitation is obviously I don't think that you can trust this AI yet to the point where you don't need to do the reading yourself. I do think that you can, look through the papers, especially, seeing if it's well cited, or if you recognize the researchers, or if the researchers have a good history in the field. Those are things that you're going to have to bring your values and your interpretation to the field. But in summary, I think it's really worth the money if you find yourself doing a lot of research and you want to get through topics really quickly. I think it's also pretty decent at post hoc finding support for things, or post hoc trying to find reasons why something isn't the case. So you could also question your biases with this. I think it's a great tool. It's definitely worth a look.